Okay, now we're going to SD 45.12, Candāla Sutta, the discourse on the outcast. The Candala is the outcast, the lowest of the caste in ancient India. Okay, this one is, I think it should be on the outcast. No? A5.175. The theme is the qualities of a true lay follower. Now, the Brahmins of ancient India introduced a class system. You have, they use religion for social control. So they claim that they, as Brahmins, are born from the mouth of their god or the primordial man. So their task is to teach others. So they are the highest class. And then the Kshatriyas are born on the arm of this god or primordial man. So the task of the Brahmins is to protect them. And then comes the hips are the merchants who support the other two upper classes. And then the legs are the Shudras, these are the menial workers that support the rest of society. Apparently it is said that these are the fair-skinned conquerors who invaded northern India. Then the dark-skinned locals, they were not in this class. They formed their own, what's called the Panchama, the fifth group. They were the outcasts. And one of the lowest are the Candala. Of course, Buddhism rejects all this. So here, the Buddha is saying who really is an outcast, basically, right? All right, so this again is very easy sutta to look at. You see the Buddha, in a sense, demythologizing the term Candala, or even desocializing it, if you like. He's saying that Candala is not someone who's born. You're not an outcast because you're born. So it depends on your conduct. If you act in a very bad way, then you, no matter how highly you're born, how rich or powerful you're an outcast anyway. Because he's talking about the moral and ethical aspect of human behavior. Okay? So this is quite a direct, very instructive sutta. The Buddha himself is giving these instructions. The page 117. Candāla Sutta, Discourse on the Outcast, A5.175. First section is on the outcast lay follower. Bhikshus, a lay follower with 5 qualities is an outcast or Candala. Lay follower, a stained lay follower, an inferior lay follower. So these are very strong words. You notice the Pali words. Outcast, upāsaka, Candala, then stained, upāsaka, mala. Okay? Stained meaning they break the precepts. Then inferior lay follower, upāsaka, pati, kittho. Okay? So in other words here, the Buddha is saying your standing is not through birth, but it's through your actions. If you claim to be a lay person and you don't keep to the practice, then of course you fall below the standards. And what are the 5? These are the 5 qualities of a bad lay follower. 1, he lacks faith. Number 2, he is not morally virtuous. Number 3, he believes in rituals to invoke luck. Number 4, he believes on luck, not on karma. 5, he seeks the gift-worthy outside the teaching and gives his priority there. Right? So here you are. These are 5 negative points. Now we'll just bear this in mind for the moment, but let's look at the positive side, and then from there let us reflect in more detail. Okay. Once again, we're on page 117. Now let's look at section 2. The jewel of a lay follower. So here you can say this is the ideal lay follower, the good lay follower. a jewel of lay followers, of a lay follower, or you can say a jewel of lay followers also can. Upāsaka ratana, a lotus of a lay follower. Upāsaka paduma, a white lotus of a lay follower. Upāsaka pundarīka. Okay, so these are just terms talking about the beauty and then the quality, value of this true follower. And the true follower, the true lay follower, has 5 qualities. He has faith. Okay, saddho poti. Okay, what does faith here? What's meant by faith here? Now, as I mentioned in the previous talk on the Candāla Sutta, faith is our effective response, a feeling of connection with the teacher and the teaching because of understanding, because we see something true and something beautiful in the Dharma, and we are guided by it somehow. Okay? So we have faith in that sense, not blind faith. Okay? We don't have faith in the teacher because he looks nice, or because he is rich and powerful, or because he knows a lot, or because he looks holy. Now, these are some of the things the Sutta says which are not the right standards for accepting a teacher. Here you feel the Dharma, you experience the Dharma, you taste the Dharma, you feel, oh, I'm so happy. It is because of this teacher that I am able to understand this teaching. Then the teacher's purpose has been fulfilled. Then you have faith in that teacher. It's a very dynamic kind of situation. So it's very important to remember that you don't quote the teacher's name for status, Like somebody might say, oh, I know teacher so-and-so, big name. I say, wow, people admire you. But then you're just building up your ego, building up more obstacles to your progress. You are effectively living in the shadow of the teacher. You're not a practitioner, right? So that will be to your disadvantage. That's the meaning here. So faith, in other words, frees you. It doesn't freezes you, but it frees, in a sense, liberates you. Right? Just like in the case of Sariputta and Citta. Number 2, he is morally virtuous, right? So if you want to be a true Buddhist, you keep to the precepts, the 5 precepts. The 5 precepts are not rules to punish you. Rather, they are 5 rules of quality control for life. Right? If you really want to be happy, these are the 5 rules to follow. You respect life, you respect property, you respect people, you respect truth, and you respect your mind. So those are the spirit of the 5 precepts. And by being morally virtuous, you inspire others to be good and happy too. In simple terms, you can say a morally virtuous person truly respects other people, truly respects life, okay, and so on. You can say that the 5 precepts are like the 5 kinds of respects, if you like. Okay? Number 3, he believes not in rituals that invoke luck. Okay, this is very important. Notice the Pali says, akotuhala mangalika hoti. Luck means you don't do anything, it just happens, right? Someone said something very interesting. Don't pray for something you're not willing to work for. Don't pray for anything you're not willing to work for. In other words, for example, may I strike first prize lottery? You have to work for it. I mean, these are chancy things. Out of a million, you get 1 person get it. Okay, so it's probability. You don't need Buddhism to tell you this. If you are a mathematical student who studies probability, you know the chances are very, very slim where gambling is concerned. So this idea of luck, in other words, is not very wise. There is a Jataka story which is quite humorous. The story about his family. they're trying to arrange the daughter to be married to this suitable man, but then the mother or father keeps consulting the fortune teller, and the fortune teller keeps saying, oh, the stars are not right, the stars are not right. So they keep on postponing the date, until in the end the man couldn't wait. He got married to someone else. So this poor woman is left with no one to marry. So that's the very humorous Jataka story. So don't trust the stars too much, in other words. Then number 4 is kind of connected with number 3. Number 4 says he relies on karma, not on luck. In other words, you act on it. Right? If you see yourself as facing some misfortune, you say, okay, this is a bad spell, maybe some bad karma is working now, some paths are coming back, so let me just be patient. At the same time, if you put in effort, things will happen. Good things will happen, right? Otherwise, what's the point of learning Buddhism? What's the point of talking about karma? Karma means good actions tend to bring good results. Bad action tends to bring bad results. That's the first principle. Second important principle is you become the karma that you habitually do. And this is a very important idea. We are not punished by our karma. We always have this idea, karma punishes us. This word punish is not a good word here. Take an example, someone who tends to hate people, okay, so he has this karma of hate, if you like. So what happens to this person? Think of hate all the time. It will affect him, because when he thinks of hate, then his health is affected, his beauty is affected, so the karma works on him in that sense. So you become your karma, that's the meaning. Okay? And then number 5, the last one, he seeks the gift worthy within the teaching and gives his priority here. Okay, here the teaching. So here, in other words, he supports the monks, he supports the Buddhist community first. Right? So this is something we should, in other words, have connection with Buddhist work, with the Buddhist community. We really have faith in Buddhism instead of helping others. Okay? So this is where the person shows he's truly a Buddhist. Right? So of course you find sometimes people today who don't really know enough, they got a lot of money, they say, oh, I want to help everybody, which is fine, But you help everybody, but there's a hole in the middle. The Buddhist community is neglected, and then we are always the underdog, we're always having difficulties, and that's not very helpful. Right? So we're helping others, but we're not helping ourselves. So if you're truly a Buddhist, you would want to help the Buddhists first, in other words. So these are 5 reminders, okay, for us how to be really good Buddhists, so that we will totally benefit from the Buddha's teaching. Otherwise, we might one day say, oh, Buddhism didn't help me, really. And Buddhism doesn't help anyone. You help yourselves to Buddhism. Only in creating the right condition, you become Buddhism. And there is a saying also, you get the Buddhism you deserve. So, you deserve better. Right? And so these are the 5 ways you should practice to get the best kind, the true Buddha Dharma that comes directly from the Buddha himself. So this is the Candāla Sutta, reminding us to be the ideal lay person. Okay, there you are. Quite refreshing, quite simple teachings. So it's just nice the timing. Here then. Okay, we have now started our new year with a new study, and let us reflect on this, the presence of the Dharma inside us. In other words, this teaching that we have handed down to us is capable of inspiring inner peace, inner clarity. Inner peace means joy, inner clarity means wisdom. Right? So these are two things which are very important in our life, which guide us so that our life has quality, goodness, and happiness. And in doing so, we go through life enjoying whatever is before us. Unlike some people, they may have a lot of things but are still not happy. So in a sense, we are reflecting on how the Dhamma makes us truly happy. Reflecting in this way is very wholesome karma. By the power of such karma, let us cultivate loving kindness towards ourselves for our own happiness and good health, and wisdom and courage, so that we aspire to attain at least stream winning in this life itself. And by the same token, by the power of the three jewels, let us send out our loving kindness to our loved ones. May they be well and happy. To those who have been kind and supportive of us, may they be well and happy too. And to those who are practicing the Dhamma and seeking awakening in this life, may they attain that goal as they have aspired to. And finally, let us send our loving kindness to all those people who have difficulties in the teaching, who are lost, that they may find the true path in this life itself too. May all beings be well and happy. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.